Is this ship cool or what? Hey, I'm Brenda Song from the Disney Channel. I love sailing on a Disney cruise. Today, I've been given a backstage pass to places here on the ship and a Castaway Cay that most people never get to see. Come along with me as we go behind the waves to find out the answers to some cool questions like, what happens to this water bottle when I'm done with it? Or, where does the electricity come from in my stateroom? Or, where did they get the water to fill all the swimming pools? Hey, David.
Hi, Brenda. You ready for your backstage tour?
Definitely. Just let me drop off this bottle and we'll be all set.
Actually, your water bottle is a great place to start.
It is?
Sure. Few people ever get to see what we do with our recyclables on the ship. It's a huge part of our operation. Would you like to see the process in action?
That'd be awesome. David told me that Disney Cruise Line processes thousands of recyclables each week. Aluminum, glass, plastics, cardboard, and paper are bundled and offloaded, adding up to more than 405 tons of recycling each year. That's the equivalent of over 27 school buses, or 12 humpback whales.
All of our recyclables are separated and made ready for offloading here in the ship's garbage room.
Well, it's funny though, because I don't see much garbage in here at all. It's so clean.
Well, that's right, because being on a ship, there's not a lot of room for mess. So, we sort everything in separate bins to keep it as organized and clean as possible.
Crew members help separate recyclable items all over the ship, no matter who they are or what their job is.
They even pick up items in guest staterooms?
Sure, we handle the work so our guests can enjoy their vacation.
With David's help, I got to see a crew member process aluminum cans after they've been sorted. Working with a machine called the aluminum crusher, he presses the cans into a dense cube. It may look cute, but that block weighs over 25 pounds. Cardboard boxes, office paper, and even printer cartridges all get the recycled treatment.
And you can get involved by helping out to sort your items up here on deck.
You're right. These bins have separate containers for aluminum cans and plastic bottles right next to the pool.
Oh, thanks, Brenda. Our environmental officer will certainly be glad to see you helping out.
Wait, did you say you have an environmental officer right here on the ship?
It's our environmental officer who's ultimately responsible for all the recycling on the ship.
I had no idea that there was an environmental officer on board. I learned that in addition to recycling, he maintains all of the environmental programs and systems on the ship. From training crew members on important policies and procedures, to keeping track of all those recycled cans and bottles, the environmental officer helps keep the ship in tip-top shape. He manages things like the ship's water quality, including the water in all their swimming pools. And he even helps support education programs off the ship that work to inspire and empower children and communities to take action in protecting their own environment. So, where are we now, David?
We are in the ship's engine control room.
Another area that's usually off limits to guests.
Yeah. From here, our officers can monitor each of the ship's 5 engines to make sure they're operating at top form.
Something tells me this isn't a place where I should touch anything.
Yeah, you're probably right. From here, our engineers can oversee all of the ship's major systems, including electrical, propulsion, and even the evaporators we use to produce fresh water from the ocean.
Hold up a minute. You mean you make fresh water right here on the ship out of seawater?
Well, yeah. I mean, you didn't think we filled the Mickey pools with salt water, did you?
The process takes time, energy, and water. So we've come up with some innovative ways to conserve the water we already have on board.
Talk about recycling. Even water doesn't go to waste at sea. Through a cool process, water condensation is collected from the air conditioners on board and is then used to clean the decks of the ship. Wow, that's some pressure wash.
And since it saves up to 1/3 of the ship's daily water, we don't have to make as much on board.
And that leaves more to use for important cruising essentials, like running that cool water slide.
I bet your laundry room at home was never this big, right, Brenda?
No way! Look at all those towels!
With over 3,500 guests and crew on board, there's a lot of laundry to be done. But even here in the laundry room, they're working to conserve water and energy. Take those towel animals that appear in your room each night.
Ooh, I love those. My favorite is the towel monkey.
Well, even those sculptures can help save water. Remember, you can choose to hang up and reuse your towels in your room instead of receiving new ones each day.
Who knew something as simple as towels and washcloths could help save water?
Yeah, and by reducing the amount of fresh water we need to create on the ship, you'll actually be saving power. for all those lights you were asking about in your stateroom. Take a look here.
Are those the actual engines of the ship?
Yep, and they're actually located below Deck 1, underneath the water. While they're important for pushing us through the sea, these engines also provide the energy to run everything on the ship, from that big screen TV on Deck 9 to that bedside lamp inside your stateroom.
I had no idea that everything was so connected.
In addition to small things like turning out lights when they're not needed, we're working behind the scenes to save energy in ways you may not realize. Switching out traditional lights to energy-efficient bulbs is one way to make an impact.
Oh, we did that at my house.
Well, another thing we've done actually saves energy by enhancing the way the ship moves through the water. The next time you disembark, take a good look at the paint applied to the ship's hull. It's the key to a creative way Disney Cruise Line is working to save energy. This is dry dock, a rarely seen time when the ship is taken completely out of the water for scheduled maintenance, upgrades, and enhancements. Disney made history by being the first cruise line to apply a new kind of coating to the hull of the ship, which works to help save energy.
How can something as simple as paint do that?
It may look like ordinary paint, but this coating is actually something more. Completely non-toxic, it cuts down the resistance in the water and helps the ship easily glide through the seas. Since we don't have to push the engines as hard to get from place to place, we can run fewer engines, and that helps save energy.
Fashionable and functional. Sounds like a perfect combination to me. So what's next up on the tour?
Well, I was thinking of setting up something special for you when we get to Castaway Cay.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I love Castaway Cay.
Well, before we get there, I want to show you something on the ship that actually helps produce power on the island. And it starts with a behind-the-scenes tour to the galley.
Do you mean the kitchen?
Trust me, they're creating a lot more than just food these days. I'll show you when we get there.
He wasn't kidding. Here in the galley, crew members prepare over 10,000 meals for the ship each day. Pretty cool. But it's what they're doing with some of the ingredients that really surprised me. Take this guy. It may look like he's just fixing up some vegetables for dinner, but would you believe he's also helping to create power for vehicles on Castaway Cay? It's no joke. Used cooking oil from the galleys is collected in special containers each week. When the ship arrives at the island, the oil is taken to a backstage area and mixed into a special fuel for small maintenance vehicles. You may even see some driving around on the island. Workers oversee getting just the right mix of oil, and the results save up to 8,000 gallons of traditional fuel each year. That's enough power to run 9 homes in the United States for a year. Kinda makes you rethink what we call power foods, huh? Here at Castaway Cay, you can relax on the beach or play in the water. I plan to do both. But first, here's a trip to Castaway Rays. Castaway Rays Stingray Adventure is a hands-on excursion with live stingrays right here on Castaway Cay. You can get in the water with these gentle creatures and even take part in feeding them. The animal care experts on the island are trained scientists working to study and protect stingrays and other marine life around the world. I'm here behind the scenes with one of the crew members of Castaway Rays. So tell me, Jennifer, what goes on in this part of the island?
Well, this is our animal care facility where we train our stingrays before releasing them into the main lagoon. The stingrays go to stingray school, where they learn how to participate in the program. We also use this area as an animal hospital. Expectant stingray moms and their pups will be cared for here so we can keep a watchful eye on them and care for their ultimate health and safety.
But stingrays aren't the only animals benefiting from Disney's expertise. They also work to support the health and safety of other marine creatures native to the Bahamas. The team at Castaway Cay protected and monitored a nest of loggerhead sea turtles that was found on the island. When the baby turtles emerged from the nest, the team even helped a few stragglers find their way out into open water. How cool is that? Look at that little guy go! Researchers at Castaway Cay are also helping to restore coral reef populations through unique programs studying sea urchins in the area. These spiky creatures may look intimidating, but they're actually key to keeping coral reefs healthy. They act like living lawnmowers, eating harmful algae that can grow and choke out the reefs. By transplanting healthy urchins onto reefs near the island, researchers are helping to protect this vital source of marine life. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry about those spikes, though. The urchins are placed on coral reefs outside of guest areas, so you don't have to worry about disturbing them the next time you swim or snorkel. Stop by Castaway Rays on your next visit to the island to find out more about all these programs. The best part is, you'll even be helping to protect the animals, because a portion of the proceeds from every stingray encounter is donated to the Disney Worldwide Conservation Fund. Since 1995, the Disney Worldwide Conservation Fund has helped over 750 projects and granted more than $12 million to protect wildlife and wild places around the globe. You can find out more by visiting guest services on the ship. They'll answer your questions and explain how you can get personally involved. And if you want to make a donation, you get a cool button exclusive to Disney Cruise Line.
You mean like this one?
Oh, cool! Thanks, David, and thank you so much for the tour. I had no idea so much went on behind the scenes.
Oh, it was my pleasure, Brenda. You know, I'm so glad we got to give you an inside look on some of the things we have going on here on the ship and on Castaway Cay. Now, isn't your family waiting for you on the beach?
Oh, yeah.
Go on. Enjoy your vacation.
Thank you. From onboard the ship to the beaches of Castaway Cay, I hope you've enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at Disney Cruise Line. I've certainly enjoyed showing it to you all. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you all behind the waves.